In this video, we're going to show how to create a news item on any web page in our district, or excuse me, on any website in our district. I'm going to go ahead and do one for Endeavor Middle School here. They have already given me a flyer, so I'm going to add a news item about Character Education Week here. So to do it, first thing we have to do is we are actually going to be creating a news content page. And to do that, we have to put it under the correct parent page, which is the What's New. There's a few different ways to get there. One way is if there's already a news item here, you actually can click here on any news item that's there. And then if you notice here, it kind of gives you the thread, and there's the What's New page there. So that'll get you in that way. But I'll give you a foolproof way of getting in too, for example, for in the instance that there is no recent news. If you go up here to Page Properties and go down to View Subpages, one of the subpages of this main page here is actually a news page, but it's hidden so that way it doesn't show up as one of these options here at the top. So Page Properties, View Subpages, and then go to News. Now we're not quite there yet. Under News you have What's New and Archived. You want to go to What's New. And if you see we have this one news item already here, we want to create a new one. So we're going to add a new page. So up to Page Properties, go down to Add New Page, and we're going to add a News Content page. This is the only time you ever add a news content page is when you're creating a news item in this situation here. Okay, now what we have to do is put a title here, and this is the title for the web page, not necessarily the title, and I'm going to open up a new tab here. Not necessarily the title you're going to see here, okay? So, but generally you can make them the same. So I'm going to call this one Character Education Week. Okay, and if you remember, this name down here is just the one the computer likes because the computer doesn't like capitals or spaces. Just hit this little blue arrow and it'll generate a name, and then press Create Page. Okay, page properties you can leave as is. Page content, title, this right here, what you type in here is what's going to show up here. Okay, so I'm going to call it the same thing, Character, or what was it called? Character Education Week. And mine's popping up because I had typed this in earlier. Featured image we're going to come back to in just a minute. Summary, this, what you type in this box, is what's going to show up here. Okay, so in this case, what should I put here? I'll put the date. We're going to say focusing on the 6 pillars here. Oh, here we go. I already had one in here before. Okay, publish date, you want to make that, generally you're going to make it today's date. For whatever reason, if you're just kind of doing this to get ahead of things and you don't want this to show up until Monday or whenever it is, then pick that date. But I'm going to pick today's date, which is the 16th. Okay, now I'm going to come back up to image here. To put an image on, what we need to do is go search for it. And it's going to look in our File Explorer, which is the place that holds our images, our files, and so on. Now I have already uploaded the image, and if you need help in uploading an image, watch the video on how to do that. So it's already on image here, and there's one right here called 6 Pillars. So I'm going to click that. Actually, I'm going to double click it, and there it went. Image title, you don't have to put anything there. For the body, this is where you're going to type in the information to go and show you what it's going to look like. Again, here's the title. Here's the summary. If you click Read More, this stuff here is going to be what the body is. I'm just going to copy and paste what's already been created here. I'm going to leave out this Eimers Foundation. I'm going to make that a separate one. So copy it, come over here, paste it. It asks you if you want to clean it up. I always pick OK or yes. If you want to go in here and edit anything, change any of the text or font, this is the time to do it. I'm going to leave it as is. I think it looks pretty good. I'm going to come down a little bit here. This all you can pretty much leave the same. The only other thing that I would suggest is this very, very last item, follow-up tasks here. I always choose archive. And what this does is you pick the date, and on that date, this task will be what will go away. It'll go into the archived news. So this is through the 25th. I'm going to click on the date. Now, one thing to mention, if it's going to the 25th, you kind of want to go to the next day. And the reason being that if you chose the 25th, that morning of the 25th, it would go away. And if you still wanted it to be on your website, it's going to be gone. So I would take whatever you think you want it to end, pick the next day just to be safe. When you're done, hit publish. Now it shows you what it's going to look like here. It looks a little strange. Maybe we'll go back and edit that. But I always like to see what it's going to look like on the main page. So I'll go back to the home page for Endeavor Middle School here. Scroll down, and we can see we got the picture, we got the title, and we got the summary. So everything looks good, and it looks like we're done for that one.